How's it going, everybody? It's the Black Car Guru back with another video, and today we're going to be talking about the 1999 Buick Regal GS. Now, the Buick Regal GS is the perfect example of the perfect car built at the wrong time. I'll explain it later. Now, under the hood was a supercharged pushrod V6 known as the L67, and it was GM's 3800 Series 2 V6, which you could pretty much find in any vehicle at the time. But what made this special was the M90 supercharger sitting on top of it, which was delivering 7 to 8 PSI of boost. Now, once people got their grubby little hands on this thing and started fiddling with it, I'm talking about 93 octane, smaller pulley, and a tune, you were seeing anywhere from 60 to 80 more horsepower, if not 100. Oh, but that was only scratching the surface. But before I get to that, the only weakness, literally the only weakness to this car was the transmission was pretty much made out of glass at a certain power level. Like after about 400 horsepower, you were absolutely going to shred that transmission to ribbons. But once you built the transmission, then you can really start throwing some power at it. Richard Holdner got a hold to this thing and made 612 horsepower with nothing more than a bigger cam from ZZP Performance and Beehive valve springs. He ported the M90 supercharger and ran a turbo, a GT45, and gave it like 14.5 PSI of boost, making 612 horsepower. And that's on stock block. And not to mention, he did get the heads done, get some head work done to it, but the bottom end could handle 600 plus horsepower. And then the crazy part is all the 3800 series V6s, they still have an aftermarket. ZZP Performance, they deal with stuff like the Ecotechs, the 3800s, and basically all the obscure Chevy V6s and 4-cylinders and shit that nobody really want to make an aftermarket for. They deal with that type of stuff. So it does have a cult following still. But as good as the Regal GS was, it still wasn't enough to capture the eye of the public or capture the interest of the youth. Mainly because it got overshadowed by this thing, the LS1. By 99, the LS1 was already like a couple years old, and people were raving over this thing. A simple cam, spring, and like a ported head job. You already had 100 plus horsepower added to an LS1, and people were raving over this thing. It was like a miracle engine back in the day. They had even dropped this thing inside the 4th gen Camaro SS and the Firebird WS6. Not to mention, there were other muscle cars like the 99 to 04 Mustang GTs. Man, you had the Pontiac GTOs coming out later, and like people just didn't see a reason to bother with a Regal GS, even though it was a dope ass car. Love you.